For today's health segment, we have Vital Signs' Brendon Fallon with insights from two doctors into whether coffee is ultimately good for our health. Take a look.
Hello and welcome to Vital Signs. I'm Brendon Fallon. I have something for the coffee enthusiasts and non-enthusiasts today. I'm going to offer a balanced view, the views of a doctor who is pro-coffee and one not so pro-coffee. And in the end, I'll reveal my own stance on coffee. Though I'm a coffee lover, you might be surprised by how much coffee I'm drinking at the moment. First off, I spoke to Dr. Douglas Spiel, who's a radiologist and a pain management specialist and an athlete, and someone who is doing everything he can at 61 to live as long as possible. And this man is in incredible shape. He has amazing muscle tone. And I asked him, what are you doing, Dr. Spiel, to extend your lifespan, to keep yourself in as healthy a condition as possible? And surprisingly, caffeine was one of the things he mentioned. This is what he had to say about it.
3 to 5 cups a day is probably helpful. People who have schizophrenia, bipolar disease, serious depression disorder, they generally live 15 years less than people without those psychiatric manifestations. And if you drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day, they're only giving away 10 years.
Wow, that's a good endorsement of coffee.
Coffee is a potent AMPK activator. But if you're going to take it in the morning, wait 60 to 90 minutes after you've waken up so your cortisol level will drop.
Now, to go a little bit deeper into the science that Dr. Spiel mentions there, he talks about this protein, AMPK, which is a very important protein in the body. It works kind of like a fuel gauge, and when the ATP, the energy currency of our cells, when that drops too low, the stored energy drops too low, and the used energy rises, that's when AMPK activates, and it switches the body from growth mode to maintenance mode. And with that, you get all these wonderful processes kicking in. It's like the insulin sensitivity of the cells becomes higher, glucose is more easily able to get into the cells, which is great on the diabetes prevention front. And also autophagy starts, which is where the cells are breaking down, discarding, even recycling cellular matter. This is fantastic for lifespan, for extending lifespan, and for health in general. This is what happens when people do intermittent fasting. Now, on the coffee con side, I spoke to a doctor, Dr. Daniel Amen, who does these amazing brain scans called SPECT scans, where he's looking at the effects, the activity in the brain when people are taking different substances, from alcohol to marijuana to caffeine. And this is what he has to say about the effects of caffeine on the brain.
It constricts blood flow, but it also suppresses a chemical called adenosine. And adenosine is the chemical that throughout the day slowly builds up, and it tells you to go to sleep. Well, caffeine blocks adenosine so you don't feel tired. The problem is adenosine is still going up, but it blocks the effect of it, and you end up with a rebound the next day. And that's why people start their days with caffeine, because what they're really doing is medicating sleep deprivation. And I would just argue, if you get rid of caffeine, your sleep's going to be better, your energy's going to be better. It's a short-term fix that continues to cause a long-term problem.
Now, in a moment, I'll share a clip from Dr. Amen talking about a patient who is an airline pilot with a serious coffee drinking problem. But first, let me share something else on the coffee pro side. There was a study done in 2009 looking at 20 years of follow-up data of 1,400 participants. And what they found was that those who drank 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day had a 65% lower chance of developing Alzheimer's than those who didn't drink coffee at all. Now, here's that clip from Dr. Amen.
Well, one of my favorite stories is an Air Force pilot who came to see me, and his brain looked way older than he did. And he wasn't using marijuana, but he was addicted to caffeine. He'd have anywhere from 6 to 12 cups a day. And he's like, but I can't live without it. And I'm like, no, that's a lie. You can live without it. I said, and if you want to just stop, well, you probably feel bad for 5 or 6 days. The other option is just go down by 10% a day. And he chose that, didn't have any withdrawal symptoms. A month later, he was stunned with the amount of energy he had, with how much better his sleep was. And it's the little lies we tell ourselves, I often say, that keep us fat, depressed, and feeble-minded. You know, I need this. And the fact is, the brain is lazy. The brain does what you allow it to do. And good habits take just as much energy as bad habits. Now, you have to sort of reshape your brain. That takes a bit of energy.
And now in closing, I said that I'd reveal my own stance on coffee. I love coffee, but these days I barely touch it. Why? Because I'm someone somewhat susceptible to coffee's addictive effects. Why does coffee have this addictive effect on some people? There are a number of theories for this. One is related to the adenosine factor I talked about before, where people are basically using coffee to combat tiredness. Another relates to coffee being suspected to working similarly to cocaine. And cocaine is suspected to work by keeping the dopamine, the feel-good hormone, in the extracellular space longer to have its effect. Coffee is suspected to work in a similar way. But maybe you're not someone susceptible to coffee's addictive effects. Are you coffee pro or coffee con? If you're watching online, why not leave a comment or send a message if you're watching on TV? It's been great to be with you. I'm Brendon Fallon, and you've been watching Vital Signs.